Doma Sports Talk, worldwide, with some news from the world of boxing, so y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Let's talk about a soon-to-be Hall of Famer. Soon-to-be Hall of Famer. Used to be at 168 pounds, was a champion, had some discrepancies there that we'll get to. Now he's at 175 pounds, coming off his best win, and will fight anybody. And that's got to be the Mexican monster, David Benavidez. Let me just tell you straight up from the jump. David Benavidez ain't got to prove ish to nobody. Nothing. Hear him talking, he's got a fight coming up against Anthony Yarde, a very formidable opponent at 175 pounds. Anthony Yarde has lost a couple of fights, but high profile. Everybody ain't beating Anthony Yarde. He's very athletic, got some power, got some speed, and he's going to fight. So it's going to be a good fight. And David Benavidez is focused on Anthony Yarde right now. But listen, the reason why I say David Benavidez is about to be a Hall of Famer, real quick here, soon. First of all, he's at 168 pounds. As a young man, he's a champion. Messes up in COVID. When COVID came, you remember everybody had to stay at home, couldn't train, so he's overweight at COVID, when COVID started. And so he gets stripped of the title. Now you got to understand, I say it every time I'm talking about it, if everybody can just go back in your minds and understand, they should have raised every weight division about 3 pounds for every fighter, every weight division, from featherweight all the way up to heavyweight, or not heavyweight, but light heavyweight and cruiserweight. Put it up a little bit because everybody couldn't train. People wouldn't even run outside. Y'all got to remember how it really was. So he should have been overweight there. That one shouldn't have counted. But then he, as a young man, he took a recreational drug and not marijuana. We'll put it like that. So he made a couple of mistakes as a young guy, but he was the champion. So they strip him and basically give Canelo that belt. Canelo fights one of the Smiths. I think it was Callum Smith, right, for the WBA. The WBC just gives Canelo the belt, and then David Benavidez wants to fight Canelo. He fights his way up to be Canelo's mandatory, and they never let make Canelo fight him. Okay? That's what David Benavidez does, right? So, and he was then coined the phrase from Mike Tyson, the Mexican monster, because that's what he is. And that's somebody who deserves their moniker, the Mexican monster. He'll fight anybody. He'll scare some people away. Preferably, first and foremost, Canelo Alvarez. Won't fight him regardless of what happens, right? And if Canelo Alvarez is a first ballot Hall of Famer, if you got a first ballot Hall of Famer basically running from you in the open, this is not like we think it is and maybe he is. No, in the open, then that should be Hall of Fame points, at least. So he was never able to get his championship belt back from Canelo, nor an undisputed fight against the other formidable guy, David Morrell, who would come to in a minute. But while he was at 168 pounds, he beat Caleb Plant, which is not bad, and he beat one of the best guys out there in boxing, just had to move up, in Demetrius Andrade. Everybody's not beating Demetrius Andrade, hence his record is only lost once. And that's somebody else that Canelo avoided for years. Undisputed fight. Wouldn't take it in middleweight division. At 154, when Demetrius Andrade was the champion and Canelo was his mandatory, Canelo was supposed to be calling him out. He didn't. Demetrius was calling him out. The champion called the mandatory out. You know the interview. I thought mandatories want to be champions. Right? Remember that? Calling him out. Wouldn't fight him. So Canelo, he beats a guy who Canelo was avoiding. And then he's the guy who Canelo was avoiding the whole time. So long, the sanctioning bodies should be penalized for not forcing him to fight. We're not talking about 6 months or a year. We're talking about 2.5, damn near 3 years. Wouldn't fight your mandatory. And he got away with it. So that's him. Points. So he has to move up to the next division. Morrell too, by the way, now that we mention it. David Morrell too. Those two guys Canelo ain't fighting probably ever. Never. So they have to move up. And what does your boy do? When David Benavidez moves up, he beats the third best light heavyweight in Alexander Gvurchik. Now, Gvurchik had a little sabbatical, came back, won a couple of fights, but Gvurchik is Ukraine. Ukraine bring the pain. He was the third best when he was really fighting about 5 years ago, and it was Benavidez, Bivol, and Gvurchik. and I had Bivol on third place. I had Vucic ahead of him at that time. But we know that that's not the case anymore. Bivol's the baddest one, better followed by Benavidez. But Vucic is a high-profile, good fight, and Benavidez beat Vucic, and they beat somebody else in light heavyweight. But I know what he's just done. He's just beat David Morrell recently, and that's awesome. Ain't nobody beating David Morrell. We can talk all that smack, all like, oh, he's this and he's that. David Morrell's bad, second baddest dude. You know, David Morrell, you got light heavyweights. David Morrell, with a loss to David Benavidez, I'm going to put David Morrell as the fourth best. Still, somebody who better show me not, because I'm only putting Benavidez, obviously, because he beat him. I'm putting Bivol and Benavidez in front of him. But barely. That's how good I think David Morrell is. Benavidez has a win over him. And another thing. He's called the Mexican Monster for the last 3 years, given this moniker from Mike Tyson, right? Canelo is allowing someone else in his division to be called the Mexican Monster. The Mexican Monster. Canelo's Mexican. Someone else is in your division and they call him the Mexican Monster. And that guy's calling you out religiously. Let me just make sure this is clear for you people out there. Do you think that would happen to Terrence Crawford? That somebody in his division is called something other than him? You know, when they was calling Errol Spence the boogeyman, Crawford pulled up on him, forced the damn fight. You understand? There's a big difference here. Some of the Roy Jones ain't letting nobody be called no other names in or around his division. Canelo, Gervonta Davis, Anthony Joshua, those types, whatever. Gervonta Davis got other people in his division that's undisputed. You know what I'm saying? In your division, someone else is undisputed. Well, whatever. You can be the face of boxing, but that moniker means I ain't got to fight. That's what all that means. Anthony Joshua got a dude sitting over here in Deontay Wilder that got the belt, calling him out, wants to come to his fights. Joshua won't let him even come to the fights. Call him out, tell him anytime, anywhere. And just, you know, and we could act like just because he got fans, people are just giving him a pass. You're not supposed to want somebody, if you're the baddest one in there, you don't want nobody else to be the baddest one. People want to be the baddest man on the planet, especially in their weight division. And there's certain people that's cut of that cloth. Canelo is not one of them. And those fighters that Canelo do not want to fight are awesome. Demetrius Andrade, awesome. David Morrell, awesome. David Benavidez, damn near Hall of Famer right now. So bottom line, back to the point. David Benavidez ain't got to prove-ish. Only enhance his legacy. For me, he's undisputed at super middleweight. Right? He's you know, Canelo talking about let's pull Terrence Crawford and make him stand in front of me. Benavidez would, and we don't want to fight him. David Morrell would, and you don't want to fight him. So the little dude's supposed to come and stand in front of you. You say the same thing. Make the ring 5 feet by 5 feet. David Benavidez would show up. You see what I'm saying? So I'm trying to hear it. David Benavidez can go up to light heavyweight, you know, beat Anthony Yard, go up here and lose to Bivol. He's still bad. Still going to be a Hall of Famer. David Benavidez ain't got ish to prove, y'all, because he's already done it. He got a first ballot Hall of Famer and a 4-division champ, you know, Speedy Gonzalez in around here. You know what I'm saying? So that's got to be worth something. Gracias, David Benavidez, the Mexican Monster. Doma Sports Talk. Worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.